So before I start the demo, I'd like to thank our partner, Clip Studio Paint. I know at this point we've probably thanked them numerous times, but come on, it's Clip Studio Paint. I have to thank them. I'll be doing a short demonstration highlighting how useful the program is for graphic literature and illustration, and I'll be showing you the features that are exclusive to Clip Studio Paint EX, which is the most feature-packed version of Clip Studio Paint. For clarification, moving forward, I'll be referring to Clip Studio Paint Pro simply as Clip Studio Paint or Pro, and we'll be referring to Clip Studio Paint EX simply as EX. So when I refer to a feature that's only in EX, you'll know. Whenever I say something like, Clip Studio Paint has this or that, and you're wondering if this is available for EX, the answer is always yes. Remember, we'll be giving away a 1-year license for EX, so make sure to pay attention to the raffle. Let's get started! When opening a new file for comics, you'll be brought to your canvas settings. If you only work on Clip Studio Paint, your options for your illustrations and comics are what you'd usually expect: canvas size, pixel density, etc. But in EX, when starting a comic, immediately you can manage your expectations by doing things such as applying the total number of pages that you'll be needing for your comic. One of the exclusive features of EX compared to Clip Studio Paint are the comic settings. EX allows you to manage your entire comic in multiple pages in a single panel without having to manually create another page every time. Let's say you wanted to bounce to another page because you suddenly remembered that you missed some dialogue. EX lets you quickly bounce to that page without the hassle of loading up another document into the program. Clip Studio Paint already has canvas presets for things like webtoons and comics, and EX has exclusive settings for fanzines. So after you create your file, just go on with however you decide to make your comic. Going from sketching to paneling is made easy with Clip Studio Paint. The program has tools that allow you to create toolboxes and speech bubbles easily. I actually don't love doing line art, but some of the tools in Clip Studio Paint make it more enjoyable. My personal favorite is the design brush. It's a default brush in case you're interested in trying it out yourself. Clip Studio Paint has other options for inking, and one of the most popular tools for inking is the Real G Pen, which mimics ink bleed and adds texture to the line art. Just like other programs, if you're having a hard time getting your lines smooth, you can adjust your stabilizer per tool. So instead of having a general stabilizer setting, you can have it adjusted depending on the needs of the tool. Coloring in flats is also very simple with Clip Studio Paint. Tools like the fill tool are obviously very useful for quickly laying down your colors, and recently I've started using the reference layer option. To do this, you have to select the little lighthouse icon on your line art layer, and then go to your fill tool and make sure it applies to other layers in the options. Once you're done with that, filling your flats is almost too easy. Of course, depending on the tool textures and densities, the fill might not be as perfect as you want it to be, but then there are always other ways to circumvent this in the program settings. The beauty of Clip Studio Paint is that this doesn't even begin to scratch the number of ways you can do flats, for example. There are tools and options for almost everything. With coloring or toning, you have many options on how you want to go about it. Coloring? Clip Studio Paint's got you covered with its collection of brushes made by other artists. If you're going for halftones, Clip Studio Paint almost makes it too easy. Just by selecting a space on your canvas, you can easily fill that immediately with the type of toning that you want. Like I said, Clip Studio Paint's asset shop allows you to use many different custom brushes, but you can also find custom brushes online in places like Gumroad and DeviantArt. And in one of Clip Studio Paint's recent updates, the program even allows you to do things such as transfer Photoshop brushes. It's really for everyone. Now that we've scratched the comic-oriented portion of the demo, we can start talking about Clip Studio Paint's other specialty, digital illustration. I've already mentioned how Clip Studio Paint has an array of tools for illustration and its asset shop. I'll be using these brushes to demonstrate illustration in Clip Studio Paint. These are all brushes from packs I've downloaded either from the Clip Studio Asset Store or from DeviantArt. So since I mentioned things like line smoothing and coloring earlier, I'd like to take this time to discuss my experience with Clip Studio Paint, using it as a hobbyist and then as a freelancer. So until last year, I was using Krita as my main program, and before that, I was using Paint Tool Sai. I'm not here to talk badly about these programs. Krita is one of the best free drawing programs in my opinion, and Paint Tool Sai is also a wonderful choice for a paid program. Personally though, Clip Studio Paint was perfect for my digital illustration needs, with the feel of the program and how the brushes felt and how many options I could change within the brushes themselves. Just showing this is only one panel among the brush options that you can adjust for yourself. Aside from the obvious affinity for comics, the other thing that attracted me towards Clip Studio Paint was the ability to use 3D assets. 3D assets are 3D objects, obviously, that you can download and use in your illustrations. When I say you can use them, you can trace over them or use them as a reference, but they're mainly used to be traced over. Tracing is an entirely different topic, but it's not like you're tracing over someone else's art without their permission. These assets are helpful for drawing especially more complex items. Which brings me to one of the other exclusive features of EX. You can take these objects and model them in your space, of course, but EX lets you take it a step further and turn these models into line art. Simply go to the Layer panel and click LT Conversion of Layer. This will bring up another setting tab and you can experiment however you want. I'm okay with these settings, so let's continue. And there, you've successfully converted your 3D asset into line work. Again, this 3D to line option is only available for EX. For me, I love seeing time lapses or speed draw versions of my art. Usually we can get away with these things by using a third-party software like OBS to record your entire program. But did you know that Clip Studio Paint actually allows you to record every stroke and adjustment you make into a time-lapse video? You can even choose how fast the time-lapse is, anywhere from 15 seconds to all of it. Just remember that if you want to do this, if you want to have this option with every drawing you do, always have the record time-lapse box checked in your canvas settings, like this. The last exclusive feature of EX that I'll be highlighting is the extended animation feature. While Clip Studio Paint does have an animation feature normally, it can only have a limited number of frames, 24 frames or 3 seconds at 80 frames per second. EX does not have this limitation, and using EX, you can actually create full-length 2D animations straight from the program. To make it clear, the most noteworthy exclusive features of Clip Studio Paint EX are the multi-page comic or manga illustration features, the full-length animation feature, the image conversion from 3D to line work feature, and the ability to print and export multi-page documents. Clip Studio Paint is an efficient and great drawing program as is, and EX simply takes it to another level where you have more control over whatever you want to do with your art. It's definitely an investment, but if you think that you can benefit heavily from the features, I think it's definitely an investment worth making. And here's a tip. If you already have a Clip Studio Paint Pro license, you don't need to pay the whole price for EX. Instead, you only have to pay for the price difference of Pro and EX. So basically, you get a discounted price if you already have a license. I hope that this demo gave you a good overview of the program and shed light on why so many people love it and why so many of its users have switched over to the EX version. I've been your host, Mia. Thank you for listening to the demo. I hope that you win for the raffle. Hope you win that 1-year license. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of Elbikon. Bye bye. Thank you.